a quick and easy and secure 10-gallon tank lid that you can make at home. Okay, welcome to Davis Does Stuff. This is a video we're going to show you how to make a quick and easy top for a 10-gallon fish tank. Now, 10-gallon fish tanks sort of grow on trees. Everybody gets one when they get any kind of little pet, and I keep finding them being tossed out garage sales. It's easy to get them. Now, if you're going to keep reptiles in them, you want some kind of lid, and we would like to avoid the bricks on top of the wire. I don't know how many animals you've had or how many snakes you've had, but it's like that has inevitably, in everyone's experience, led to escaped snakes because you forgot the damn brick. So, how do we make a simple cage top that actually locks and attaches to the top of this thing? So no bricks, no nothing, works nicely. Now, what we're going to use today is 1x2, easily available at Home Depot or Lowe's. Quick and easy, $5 for a piece of wood. Window screen. Now, you can use wire, something heavier than that. I like the window screen. It's quick, easy, simple, and free. It's like everybody's doing screen repairs. There's always extra window screen lying around. And the thing that may be a little involved is Luan. Now, this stuff, thin, kind of like plywood, but it's actually smoother, cleaner, nicer than plywood. Only 1/4 inch thick. The trick to this top is to cut some pieces of this down on a table saw. Now, table saws are quick and easy to get. It's like a brand new one's like $100 at Lowe's or Home Depot. If you've got access to one, you can do it at a shop like this, but you need to rip a variety of these pieces down. And here's the trick of this that you should do early on. Okay, so I have a couple pieces of Luan here that I've ripped. Now this one is ripped to about 2 1/4 inches. That's about the right size for this. You can vary that depending upon the size of your tank, how big the lip is on top of your tank. The other piece is ripped down to about 1/4 inch. Very small, very simple little thing. What we're trying to do is create something like a little L, little catch under the fish tank. So we take our lovely little 1/4 inch piece and we use, come on, open up, wood glue. Basic Elmer's glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab a little on, up and down the side of that. Yep, basic wood glue, nothing complicated or elaborate. And then that now attaches to the bottom edge of this. So you can see it's all set, put on there like that. Now this is what will take a little bit of a time because this needs to now dry. So I'm going to take my little piece, clamp it on. It's dripping all over the place, which is why it's nice to have access to a shop where you can make a big nasty mess. Okay, so it's put in place, dribbled on, stuff is cleaned up, and now I set this aside until tomorrow. Tomorrow, this will be all dried, ready to go, clamps come off, it's a solid piece at this point. So that's the only time delayed aspect of this. Now, I measured out my fish tank. My fish tank was 24 inches, so I cut this to 24 inches, and that little piece inside there to 24 inches as well. So I've made 2 of these things. One of them sitting over here drying already. This one will dry now, and tomorrow we'll pick this up again. Okay, here we are the next day with a piece. It has been sitting all night long, relaxing, setting up, and remember this is glued together with just basic white glue. No big deal there, but this is the whole, basically this is the magic of the whole thing. This is what makes it all work. So this little piece, this little strip has been glued down, clamped down. The glue has been let to set up. So now this is strong, solidly attached because basically this is what's going to sit under that edge of the tank and keep the lid from going up. Unless this piece is on there solidly and will slide back and forth nicely under the tank, you might as well put the bricks back on the lid. But now this piece is ready and all we have to do is assemble the whole piece. The top to this. Now we need to make a frame that's going to be the top of this. And I'll get you into a little theatrical terminology. If you're making a frame, this is going to be a standard flat frame, meaning the stuff is sideways like that as opposed to a TV flat up like this. Now when you do this, you have stiles and rails. Stiles are one side, rails are the other. Now in this case, I've made the stiles go the whole way. So the rails have to be cut to fit. Now fitting the side of this is important. You don't want it to be way too big or way too short. It needs to fit pretty snugly. because those pieces of wood are going to need to grab underneath here to slide. So I'm going to line this up, set this up so my rails are a little shorter, and I'll cut 2 of these and be right back. Alright, now here is my quick trick on making a very flat, smooth, but very solid frame, for which you will need a drill, 1/8" drill bit, and, got 2 on the table, 3" drywall screws. Now, a 3" drywall screw will drive all the way through here, but if you try to drive it straight, it will split the whole piece of wood up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these pieces of stiles that I've got here. Okay, so I got the stiles. Now I'm going to drill pilot holes in the end. This will let it go right through this, still anchor it and secure it, but without destroying the piece of wood. Okay, next step. Got the holes drilled, put the screws in there. Now I like to start the screws in the holes, makes life a lot simpler. I don't have to hold 3 things at once. So now I take the rails to go along my stiles, set them up. My table's a little bouncy at the moment because it's made of Luan. And, oops, wrong gun. Driver now. Line them up, finish the screw off. And I get these lovely, nice, flat, solid connections without the extra thickness, without the extra lumber. A couple of screws in just the right spot and it all works fine. If you did your measuring right and cutting right, this should fit exactly the top of the tank. It squeals as it goes in. Doesn't like it. All right, here we go. Last one. Okay, so now I have my nice, straight, solid frame. No extra thickness, just 3/4 of an inch thick like the regular 1x, and stiles rails fits right exactly on top of the tank. This is the side that is important. It can be a little long front to back, but it's the sides that are the important thing, because that's what you're going to slide forward and back. Okay, next step, this stuff. Now I'm going to pick one side to be the downside. I think this will be the downside. And I'm going to put the screen on it. Now my screen is big enough to cover the whole thing, shouldn't be a problem. And screen being cheap, I'm going to be just cutting lots and lots off. So, I'm stapling on the sides, not on the face, not on the back, on the sides. And I just go all the way across this one, out this side. Now the way to get a good solid pull on this is you go opposite. Do one side, then you go to the opposite side, start in the middle, pull it around, pull it around, pull it around. Same thing over here. Now, if anybody's sitting there questioning, wait a minute, you're putting this in with just regular staples, regular hand T50 staples? How is that possibly going to hold things in? Well, staples are just holding it for now. What's really going to hold it is the pieces of wood we made earlier. Okay. I'll finish this up, cut it off. We'll talk about how we assemble the whole thing then. Okay, so frame assembled. All set, screen's on there, nice and tight, and it's wrapped to the side, and I've just trimmed off the edge so there's no extra screen sticking out. Now I've already attached one of these side pieces on there so you can see how this sort of is going to work. Goes on the side, loops under there, and slides back and forth. Now, I'm going to put the other side on. I've already started my screws in there, again, nice and helpful and handy for having that all together. Now, do this on the tank you're actually going to do this on, because they're all a little different, some of them different manufacturers, different sizes. So you're making this fit the tank you're working on. So now I line this up, and I push the lid down, pull, sorry about coughing, pull the sides up, and then give it a little space. Don't pull it so tight that you can't move it. Now, hey, get in there, you stupid thing. Now, I'm going to sink this first screw in, and I'm going to try it. Yeah, slides, doesn't get tight yet, looking good so far. So now I'm going to go to the other end, and again, go under there, pull that up, and then give it a little breath. And if I've done this right, it slides back and forth without being too blocky or sticky. The nice thing about the screws is, I'm going to put this middle one in while we're waiting here. If it's too tight and it can't move because you're too tight to the thing, you can always loosen it back up, a quarter turn or so. If it's too tight this way, you can always undo the screw, lower it a little bit, and screw it back in again. So now I've got this nice solid lid, goes all the way across, and I can lift it up. It's a secure lid. Now I'm going to put another piece of Luan on the back side of this over here, just to make sure it's got a closure. So when it goes to the end, it'll hit and stop, and I won't over close it. And this is just to hit, goes in and hits the back. So now I can open it, get in, deal with what I got to deal with, pull it closed, and when it hits, I know it's closed, solid, all the way around. And I can lift this up, move this around, and when it's not going to get out, no bricks. So all that was window screen, 1x2 furring strips, and Luan. Now the Luan, again, if you can't have access to piles of Luan, you can get like a 2x2 or a 2x4 at Home Depot or Lowe's for a couple bucks, and then access to a table saw is the only thing you really need. And if you can just get into a shop and get the stuff cut, the rest of this you can assemble in your living room with one of these and a saw. Oh, and one of these. Scissors. Don't know what scissors. All right, thank you. This is Davis Does Stuff. Easy top to a 10-gallon fish tank. Thank you.